Good morning. It's January 4th of the new year, 2018. Woo. I just woke up, so I'm going to make myself some breakfast now. This breakfast is usually my pre-workout meal, so I'll work out in a couple hours after this. So I try to make it kind of a lighter meal and get a lot of carbs in and a decent amount of protein, and keep the fiber and the fat low. Something that sits well and digests pretty fast for me. I don't like working out with food in my stomach. So that's my goal with breakfast. Let's do it. Alright, so what I decided to make today is for protein, I'm just going to do like a scoop and a half of this is just pure whey protein. Snickerdoodle flavored, it's my favorite. And then I'm going to do a couple servings of cream of rice. So this is essentially just pure rice ground up, so there's no fiber in it. It digests really easy. It'll give me about like 72 grams of carbs here, and then this will give me, with the scoop and a half, like 40 some grams of protein. And then in the cream of rice, I'll probably just put some berries I have made up. So even though I'm in the off season, I still have my food scale and I weigh most of my foods still. So even my proteins, I don't know, they're my protein powder. I probably don't really need to, I could guess, but so it's like 52 grams is a scoop and a half. And I just typically add water to my protein. If I'm looking for more flavor, I'll put some almond milk in there. But typically I don't put regular milk in just because it makes it too thick. Grosses me out. So now I'm going to weigh out my cream of rice. So I put my bowl on there and zero it. So if you don't know how to track food, this will be a good video to see how I weigh everything out and enter my food in. So what I do, and I do this pretty much every day, like I said, even in the off season, even though I don't really need to be super picky with my calories and my macros, but I still try to at least very loosely track all the food that I eat during the day, just to make sure that I'm taking in enough food to grow. So right now I'm in a gaining phase and trying to add weight, so I need to make sure I'm consuming enough calories every day to keep my weight increasing and have enough energy left over for building muscle. So I still try to be sure that I'm achieving that, and weighing's the best way to do so. And honestly, I'm good enough at it now, good enough at tracking and weighing things that for me it's really easy and it doesn't take much of an effort to do so. So one serving is 45 grams, so I want 2 servings, so I put 90 grams of cream of rice in there. And then to this I'm going to add 2 cups of water. We'll put it in for 3 minutes. I'm just going to take a guess. Alright, it's all done. So, perfect consistency. When you're cooking cream of rice, you don't want to have it too watery, but you don't want it too thick either. At least that's the way I like it. So, looks like this. If you've never had cream of rice before. This isn't a real typical breakfast that I eat, but I do it every now and then. I just went to the grocery store yesterday and bought some. So, and I'll weigh out my berries too, just to have an idea of what I put in there. So, let's put them all. So that's about 6 ounces of berries. So I've got my protein, and I've got my cream of rice with berries in it. And I gotta add one more thing. Alright, so this is sugar-free syrup. So it's I think a whole quarter cup is only 15 calories. So normally, I don't even track this because I'm not going to use a whole quarter cup. And even if I did, it'd only be 15 calories. So I just put a little bit on there just for flavor, not a ton. And I usually put this in my oatmeal too. But this is big, especially when you're dieting, trying to cut calories lower, and you need some flavor and some things. The sugar-free syrup, or Walden Farms makes a 0-calorie syrup. So I'm going to eat and answer some emails, get some work done, and in about an hour and a half or 2 hours, it'll be gym time. So I have upper body today with like a back focus. So it'll be a lot of pulling and rowing movements, but also hammer my shoulders pretty good and get at least a couple chest exercises in and some arms. So see you in about 2 hours. All right, it's gym time. So I'm just mixing up my pre-workout drink right now. So I do a scoop of Total War. So I pretty much just do pre-workout for the caffeine. Just addicted to caffeine, so it's one of those things that I have to have now to feel normal when I go to work out. So I do a scoop of this. You got to do like a hefty scoop though. There we go. One of those. We'll put a little bit extra in there too. And then I also put my creatine in there. So I just do creatine monohydrate. It's the cheapest, most effective form of creatine. And you can take it any time of the day. I usually put it in my pre-workout just because this is flavorless, so you have to drink it down with something. So I might as well put it in the pre-workout and slug it down with that. But you can take it any time of day. You can take it in the morning with breakfast or, you know, with your protein. Doesn't really matter. It's not like the creatine that I take right now is going to be used in this workout. It's one of those things that builds in your muscle over time. So as long as you take in, you know, about 3 to 5 grams is what most people need per day, then it will kind of sit in your muscle. Cheers. Delicious. So it's 2 degrees outside today here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. A little bit of snow coming down too. Not a ton of snow yet this year, but we got some. It's starting to get really cold. Ready for winter to be over. Workout partner's waiting for me. Look at this, we got the whole crew here today.
Till the smoke clears out, am I high? Perhaps I'ma rip this shit till my bone collapse. Till the roof comes on, till the lights go out, till my leg give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out, am I high? Perhaps I'ma rip this shit till my bone collapse. So like collapse. So I collapse.
you feel them to the day that I drop. You'll never say that I'm not killing them, cause when I am not, then I'ma stop pinning them. And I am not hip-hop, and I'm just not Eminem. Subliminal thoughts when I'ma stop sending them. Women are caught in webs, spin them in hawk venom. Adrenaline shots, the penicillin could not get the illness to stop. Amoxicillin's just not real enough. The criminal cop killing hip-hop, filling a minimal swap to cop millions of pop listeners. You're coming with me, feel it or not, you're gonna fear it like I showed you. The spirit of God lives in us. You hear it a lot, lyrics to shock. Is it a miracle or am I just product of pop? Is enough. This is my whistle, this is the plot. Listen up, this is for guys. Listen, does not give a fuck.
Comes off till the lights go out.
Till I collapse. Till I collapse. Till I collapse. Till I collapse. Till I collapse.
Cast me far away. Play these little games. Acting all okay. Today. Cast me far away. Play these little games.
All right, workout's done. So we're gonna head home now and grab some food and get to work for the day. All right, it's time for the post-workout meal. So what I'm gonna do now is 1 scoop of whey. I'm gonna do a Powerade and Fruity Pebbles with almond milk in there. So you've probably noticed that between breakfast, my pre-workout meal, and now my post-workout meal, pretty much all I do are carbs and protein. So I try to, around the workout, get foods that are easily digested and quickly absorbed around the workout period, because that's when you're going to utilize them not only for the exercise, but then replenishing your glycogen and going towards protein synthesis afterwards. So my meals later on in the day, you'll see, will be still a lot of carbs and protein, but more fat and fiber, and I'll get vegetables in and stuff then. Because so far my diet doesn't look all that healthy. But anybody that follows me on Facebook and Instagram knows that Fruity Pebbles are the go-to post-workout for me. So I'm gonna do 2 servings of the Fruity Pebbles. So 1 serving is 27 grams. So I'm gonna weigh out. I'm just gonna do 60 grams of Fruity Pebbles. So there's 60 grams of the Fruity Pebbles, and then we will get just a scoop of whey protein in there. And usually, I don't know, I'm lazy, particularly in the morning for breakfast and after I work out. So for me, like just easy meals of like a quick microwave, you know, oatmeal or cream of rice or a bowl of cereal and whey, like it's very convenient. So I mean, it's all like, I mean, I made my breakfast and my post-workout meal in like 2 minutes. So very quick, very convenient and easy, so I don't have to waste a lot of time cooking. So I got my protein, I got my Powerade, I got my Fruity Pebbles. We'll put the almond milk in there. So between all of this, I've probably got, there's about 40 grams of carbs in the Fruity Pebbles. There's about 35 grams of carbohydrate in the Powerade. And then I've got about 25 grams of protein in the whey. So all combined, about 25 grams of protein and then like almost 80 grams of carbohydrate. Just coming from really simple sources. And yeah, there's a lot of sugar here, but I consume about 400 grams of carbohydrate a day. So at the end of the day, I'll post my calories and my macro totals. But right now, about what I'm shooting for on a daily basis is about 3,200 calories, like 200 grams of protein. I try to get around there. That's kind of my minimum. And then 400 grams of carbohydrate and about 90 grams of fat. So like I said, I'll post my totals at the end of the day, at the end of the video here. But we still have about like 2 more meals to go, maybe 3, depending on how big my other meals are, because I still have a lot of food to fit in for the day. So I'm going to down this, and then I'm going to try and crank out some work and get some work done. So right now I'm going to make myself just a little snack. I'm not really going to count this as a whole meal. So I'm going to have a couple of English muffins toasted, and then I'm going to put some peanut butter on there. So I'll probably do 2 servings of peanut butter. So it'll be like a tablespoon on each half of the English muffin. And then I'm also going to do probably 1 serving of strawberry jelly on there as well. So 1 serving of this is about 50 calories, 13 grams of carbs. 2 servings of this will be 32 grams of fat, 16 grams of carbs, and 14 grams of protein. So this will start ramping my fat up for the day because I haven't had any fat yet. I have to get to 90 grams. And then the English muffins are, so each English muffin is 27 grams of carbs, 5 grams of protein, and 1.5 grams of fat. And I'm going to have 2 of those. So this will be a pretty calorie dense little snack, but like I said, I have a lot of calories that I have to get in by the end of the day. So just got to do what you got to do to get there. All right, so English muffins are toasted. So now I'll just show you how I go about weighing the peanut butter and the jelly and getting my portions on there of these. So put the plate and the English muffins on the scale, get it zeroed out. Now I'm going to take my peanut butter. 1 serving is 32 grams. So I'm going to do 16 on each English muffin, about, so I spread it evenly. And so we're trying to get to 64 grams total of peanut butter on here. Now we'll just do the jelly. So we'll zero it out again. Okay, back to 0. So 1 serving is 20 grams. So I'll put about 4 or 5 grams on each one of these. Get to 20 total. I think I should have bought the strawberry jam instead. I think I accidentally bought the jelly. So we're at 22 grams, so that's close enough to a serving for me. And now if I wanted to enter these into my Fitness Pal, I could just scan the barcode on here, and then I would put in 1 serving for the peanut butter, just scan the barcode on the peanut butter, and then I would put in 2 servings of peanut butter. And I could do the same thing with the English muffins, scan the package, just put in 2 servings, because I had 2 English muffins, and it'll calculate all of the macros and everything for you. So, good high calorie snack here to start accumulating towards my total that I have to hit. And I'll probably see you at the next meal. Here's what it looks like. Delicious. All right, here is my next meal. So this is all food that I had pre-prepared in the fridge. So I have 95% lean ground beef. I have some whole wheat pasta and some vegetables. So this is just frozen vegetables that I cooked on the stovetop. And on top of that, I'm going to add some olive oil, pretty much just to get some extra calories in the meal, and throw a little bit of spaghetti sauce on there too, just for some flavor. So I'm going to put it in a big Tupperware because it's a pretty big meal. It has a lot of volume. I don't really have many bowls that are big enough for it. So I'm going to do 300 grams of the whole wheat pasta in there. And this comes out to like 70 grams of carbs. Actually, I'm going to do, yeah, I might as well just do 300. I'm going to do 300 grams of the whole wheat pasta. I'll put some veggies in there. I'm not going to worry about weighing my vegetables. You know, I may get like 20, 40 calories or something out of these vegetables I put in here, but it's not really worth tracking for me. If I was in prep, I'd probably track vegetables, but in the off season, trying to gain weight, nah. So this is just broccoli, carrots. There's like water chestnuts, celery, some peppers, all kinds of stuff. So it's just a good mix to get some variety of veggies in. Zero my scale out. And then I'm going to put 5 ounces of the lean ground beef. And I just cooked this on the stove top and put Montreal steak seasoning on it. There we go. It's 5 ounces of that. Zero my scale out again, and I will put my olive oil on. So I'm just going to do 1 serving of olive oil, so it's 14 grams. So we'll put it on until we get to about 14 grams here. Like I said, just kind of adding this to get some fats in and some extra calories. And then some pasta sauce. So this is 70 calories per serving. So there's 13 grams of carbs in here. So I probably will track this. I don't always track it. I will though today for you guys. Again, if I was in prep, I would definitely track it, but I'm pretty loose on my calories. So I'm going to use a measuring cup. They don't have weights for the serving sizes on here. It's just a half cup. So I'm just going to do a half cup on there. And that's 70 calories, 13 grams of carbs. So just to give a rough estimate of the macros on this one, fork out and kind of mix it up a little bit. I'll show you what it looks like. So got the beef, pasta, veggies, sauce. So just to give you an idea on macros, there's probably like 80 grams of carbs, I would say, probably about 50 grams of protein, and then about 20 grams of fat. So again, another nice big meal. I'm not super hungry right now, but I'm gonna have to force it down to stay on track with my eating. That's the way life is sometimes when you're trying to gain weight. It can be tricky, and that's why, you know, using a lot of like refined carbohydrates, things that have less fiber in it, and, you know, less volume of food, can kind of help me get my calories high enough. Because if I try to eat 400 grams of carbs from just, you know, whole wheat pasta, sweet potatoes, rice, Like it's too much volume, it's too much fiber. So this helps me kind of get to my numbers. I still take in plenty of fiber at the end of the day, but if it starts getting too high, you're just going to be full and you're not going to be able to eat. Also too, I just wanted to comment on like my meal timing. So I try to space my meals out about like 3 to 5 hours. Usually it's like 4 or 5 is when I eat. And that's really just with my protein feedings. So every time I eat a meal of protein, I try to space it out by, 4 or 5 hours. So, and I've done pretty good today. So I'll eat this, and then I have to go up and train at Synergy Fitness in Marquette. And then I'll come back home afterwards and have my last meal of the day, and then we'll tally up all the macros and see where we're at. So I will see you later. All right, so just got home from training, and it's time for my last meal of the day. So I still have about 50 grams of protein left, 80 grams of carbs, and like 25 grams of fat. So I have like 800 calories left to eat today. So for my last meal, I'm gonna cook up some chicken breast just in a pan on the stove, and probably put some of this Frank's Red Hot wing sauce on it. And then I have some green beans that are already cooked up, and I also have some white rice that's already cooked up too. So probably just gonna be rice, beans, chicken, and then I'm gonna have to find something for some more fat because I have a lot of fat left. But we'll throw something together and then see what we have left afterwards and fill in the cracks. So on this chicken, I'm just gonna put some pepper and probably some garlic powder. So just pepper and garlic powder. And then so I'm gonna cook up this whole package of chicken so that I have some left over for meals in the next few days. So just, so I can weigh this more accurately, I'm gonna add the wing sauce after it's cooked. And so then, when I make meals tomorrow or the next day, I can take the chicken out, weigh it, without having the sauce on it. It'll just be a little bit more accurate. And then if I want to, do something else with the cooked chicken and not have the wing sauce on it, put some soy sauce or change it up a little bit, I can always do that. So I'm going to cook the chicken just with the pepper and the garlic powder, and then add the sauce afterwards. So another common question that I usually get is, should you weigh, your chicken or your meats, should you weigh it raw or should you weigh it cooked? Now, it's probably more accurate to weigh it and track it as raw, just because when you cook meat, it changes the moisture level. So you're changing the amount that it weighs, but you're not changing the nutrient profile, so it still has the same amount of protein, calories, and fat in it. I guess depending on how you cook it, but for the most part, it's still the same nutrient profile, but you're changing the weight because of the water that's in it. So a more accurate way is to weigh your chicken raw, and then enter it into MyFitnessPal, whatever tracking device you're using as raw. But what I usually do, just because that's super inconvenient, is I just cook it, and then when I weigh it and track it, I just enter it into the tracking app as like the way that I cooked it. So this I'll probably just put in as like, I don't know, you could put stovetop cooked chicken breast, baked. The closer you can get it to the way that you cook it, probably the more accurate it's going to be. So that's typically what I do. At the end of the day, it's not going to make a huge difference, so don't get too caught up in details. As long as you're consistent with it, like don't switch up the way that you're doing it all the time. Try to pick one method and stick to it. All right, chicken is all done. So here's what it looks like, just pan cooked. What we're gonna do to get, so I have about 20 grams of fat so that I have to get, so what I'm gonna do is just add some coconut oil to the chicken and the Frank's sauce. So I'm going to be doing 5 ounces of the chicken. So I'm going to weigh that out. So there's 5 ounces of chicken. Now what I'm going to do is add coconut oil to it. And coconut oil kind of has a good flavor. I don't know. It might be good with this. I've never tried this before. So again, I'm really just adding the coconut oil because I need the extra calories. But what I'm going to do is put my spoon on there that I'm going to scoop the coconut oil with, and I'll zero out the spoon. And I'm going to try for like 19 grams of coconut oil. So I'm just going to scoop it out with the spoon, put it on the scale. So there's 15 grams, just get a little bit more. So close enough, 18 grams. Then I'm going to take the coconut oil and just stick it right in there with the chicken. So coconut oil is a solid at room temperature, but it melts at a fairly low temp, so with a hot chicken just coming off the stove, it'll melt in here. So I have the coconut oil in the chicken, and then I'm just going to pour in some of the Frank's Red Hot wing sauce. So there's 0 calories per serving in here, so definitely don't need to worry about tracking this. And just dump a good amount in there. And then what I'm going to do, put the lid on here and just shake this up. So this will mix up the coconut oil and melt it up and get the sauce all over the chicken. And so then it comes out looking real good. So we've got the chicken. Now what I'm going to do is just weigh out some rice. So I'm going to do 250 grams of rice. So it's about like 70 grams of carbs. And this is cold, so I'm going to have to heat this up in the microwave. That's a little bit too much. So it's 250 right there. And then I'll just stick some of these green beans on here too. We will put this in and heat this up, and then we just have to throw the chicken on top and it's ready to go. Alright, here's the finished product. So it's not the most elaborate dish, but it'll taste good. Wing sauce is delicious, and I actually tried a little bit of the sauce with the coconut oil mixed in, and it's pretty good. The coconut oil adds a good little bit of flavor in there. So I'm gonna go eat this and then probably do one more video tonight. I have some more work that I want to try and get done, but I'll probably be going to bed in about 2 hours or so. So I'm usually in bed by like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So, and it is 8:30 right now. So last meal of the day going down at 8:30. And again, it was probably about 4 hours ago that I ate my last meal. So good spacing, and this will actually do me for my calories for the day and my macros. So I will also make sure that I post my totals on here, my end of the day totals too, that you can see. So cheers. All right, so that just about wraps up my day. I'm pretty tired. I'm getting ready for bed. So that was a pretty typical day for me. Not all that eventful. So, you know, get a workout in, check in with my clients if I have to, work on projects that I have going for Triumph, and go up and train at Synergy. So, like I said, pretty typical day. Eating wise, it was a successful one. So I ended the day at about 3,300 calories, and I will post the macros below on the screen. But typically what I shoot for, at least right now in my gaining phase, like 3,200 or 3,300, has me gaining weight at an appropriate rate. So I try to put on about 1/4 of a pound per week. That's the rate that I like to gain at. So today was pretty good for that. And I guess thank you for watching. Hopefully it was entertaining.